everybody, what's up? This is Chris from T3 Handicapping, and I'm here to bring you the closing day card from Indiana Grand. That'll be on Thursday, November the 11th. If you want to follow our picks, you can do so on Twitter at Handicapping T3. You can also find us on Facebook, T3 Handicapping there. And you can always purchase our picks. Tomorrow, we've got a full card. We've got Indiana Grand, we've got Finger Lakes, Gulfstream Park, which has a pick 5 carryover, Aqueduct opening day, Churchill. So a lot going on, a lot to choose from there. One purchase gets you all the tracks. So go there, get those, and cash some tickets tomorrow. T3handicapping.weebly.com. All right, let's jump into a quick recap here before we move forward. Overall, it was a up and down day at Indiana Grand. Hit a couple things here and there, but nothing that I could really string together. Unfortunately, my biggest play of the day was through Apache. Came in a decent second trying to make up ground on a course that wasn't really allowing that. That being said, after today, I feel like I've got a pretty good look into what tomorrow looks like, which is good because they've got a big seeded late pick 5 that we're going to try and hit. Here's just a reminder of all the different places you can play. If you buy the Thursday cards, that's Churchill, Aqueduct, Indiana Grand, Finger Lakes, and Gulfstream, and then we've got a whole cavalcade of tracks on for the weekend. So we're going to jump right into things here. We're going to go over this pick 5, and this pick 5 is being seeded with a lot of extra money, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to play a little deeper than we maybe otherwise would in this pick 5, and we're going to start right here in race number 6. Now, one of the things you're going to notice is you've got to be responsive and reactive to the way the track is playing, and so as I go through this, one of the things you're going to notice here is that this today's track conditions, or at least on Wednesday, it was playing all to early speed. So I basically looked at horses that I felt were going to be prominent with the early pace, and I just played most heavily through them. I'm not really interested in a horse that's not going to be within a couple lengths of the lead right off the get-go, because that just doesn't seem to be working. So in this race, I ended up using a lot of my favorite horses here. You can see the 5, the 2, and the 9. There's not a lot known about the 5, but it rates out as the top horse without having a start under its belt. So that's always a positive thing. But we can see here that I'm using the 5, 2, 9, the 9 having the best early pace, the 2 and 3 both having good pace, and the 8 having good early pace as well. And obviously they have the good speed figures for that too. So I'm going to go in this race 5, 2, 9 with 3-8 on the C line. I don't really have any B selections. I really think I can probably get through this one with 5-2-9. The 3 and 8 just kind of scare me because they're a combination of pace. These are also lightly raced horses, so I think you want to have as much coverage as you can. So that's the way I'm going to go. I would highly recommend, if you're going to play this this seeded pick 5, that you go a little bit heavier on your budget. I'd say 25 percent over what you normally would play, as long as you're not overextended in your budget, maybe even as much as a 50% additional bankroll to try and hit this, because there's going to be value if you have the proper opinions. This one, race number 7, is the second leg. We've got a class level 28, so really low level horses. I'm going to go with speed. And so that's going to land me on the 8 and the 3 as my top selections. I also like number 7, who I know is a bit of a closer, but I think that's a little deceiving with where these horses are at. I think this horse can actually sit a little bit closer. You can see only 5 points off of the leaders. The one horse I did not use that we'll see is the number 10. That horse, Sequeaker, is a front-running type, and maybe one that I would think about some extra inclusion, perhaps even on that C line. So a couple different thoughts on how to go there. I think there's a really hard race, and especially scratches could play a huge role here in how I end up playing race number 7. Race number 8, again, like I said, you want to be looking at speed, but again, we're looking at class level 21. I mean, they really did not make this easy for us here on closing day from Indiana Grand. I like the 4-10. The 10 is favored. I think is probably the most likely winner, but you're coming from an outside post, which isn't always the easiest thing. And you've got the 4, who's going to be a front runner, probably setting pace. The 10 should be close as well, kind of sitting that stock and pounce trip, which has been really good. And then number 3, Emerson's Dream, a little bit of a hunch play. For me, that's my youngest daughter's name, but also should be sitting close enough and could get a nice setup into the later stages of things. So, that one's kind of interesting to me as the pace number. But I did, as I was going through here and looking, I mean, I like that Mamala Kamala is going to hopefully get the best of race flow. And Fashion Diva is another one that's interesting to me. Nope, that's a mistake. This should actually be, sorry, this should be the number 3 horse here, not the number 8. Because again, I'm looking for those early pace horses. I'm not particularly looking for, even though it's supposed to be a front running type, I don't really see how this one's going to be on the front end given the pace numbers. I just don't think that one has the ability to do so. You'll notice I should mention this. I did put an asterisk by this one. These young races, you've always got to be able to be responsive. You've got a 3-1, a 4-1, even an 8-1 that are really sort of new to the game. If you see them taking money, you have to be able to pivot and get some money through those horses as well. It's unfortunate that that's stuck in race number 8, so we're already 3 legs in. We're not going to get to see any will pays to know if there's any smart money coming in on those horses. In this race, I just need Captain Fuego. That's good enough for me. Should have an easy lead, even though the pace is supposed to be hot, because you have a lot of horses that like to go to the lead. I think this one's going to be able to clear off and take care of business. Coming from the 7 post, shouldn't get down on the rail either, which is nice. After that, I like 10, 9, and 12 just to cover me up. The 9 is sort of just a burner type horse, just in case he gets out. I'd probably use him more on a C line. Based on his speed numbers. Again, it does concern me that his pace numbers aren't there. But the 10 and the 12 are ones that I want to use. They're going to sit more mid-pack, and if things do heat up, I think those are the two most likely to get the jump and get the score. But I'm going to be most heavily through Cap the Fuego and hope that I can stay skinny there because I do have a lot of coverage in these other spots. We finally get into some good horses here. You've got Chips Off the Old Block coming in here. I like that one, and I like Spa City. These are going to be the two most prominent early runners. Warrior and Chief may be up there as well, and you can see I included the 148. So I basically included the entire pace line. I was a little interested in Bayou Cat as well, just because Bayou Cat does have the best overall speed figures, and I think that has to be respected. So I'm going to watch the board here as well, but I'll already be so deep into the pick 5 that it's not really going to matter here. Coming home, you know, I might just go 7-6 here in the closing legs. It's hard on a day like today where there's seeded money. You really want to make sure that you hit it. But at the same time, I want to also have the ability, if we come down to this and the 7 and the 6, hopefully if I've burned a favorite or two, I'm looking at will pays in the 2,500, 3,000 or better range. And if I do, then I can use the 1, 4, 8, and 2 in some hedges if I need. But I'll kind of have to see where the budget falls after that. So that's just a real quick rundown of closing day at Indiana Grand, that late pick 5. Hopefully you can get lucky and have the right opinions and hit that for some big cash and roll into the winter without Indiana Grand with a little extra cash in your pocket. I want to wish you all good luck on closing day at Indiana Grand, on the carryover at Gulfstream Park, and any other plays you may make on Thursday. If you have any suggestions about what track you'd like us to do these videos for through the winter months, go ahead and just comment down below. Make sure you subscribe as well. To make sure that you're getting all the latest information from T3 Handicapping. As always, thank you for your support and cash those tickets.